Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the July 2nd, 2022 special edition of The Breast There Is, The Breast There Was, and The Breast There Ever Will Be Wrestling Podcast. As always, I am your host, Mikey B, WWE, and today's special podcast is devoted to tonight's WWE pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Of course, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view features both the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches, which guarantee a future championship opportunity for both the winner of each respective match. Tonight's pay-per-view features 6 matches on the match card. So let's begin with the first match on the card as I give all my predictions ahead here. So the first match is between Champion Theory taking on Bobby Lashley in the United States Championship match. Theory recently won the United States Championship belt, and before I give, my prediction for this match, I do have a feeling that since SummerSlam this year is happening in the end of July, which is very unusual. Most times SummerSlam is August every single year, so that's unusual that it's at the end of July and they're squeezing both this Money in the Bank pay-per-view and SummerSlam into the same month. I feel that there's going to be a lot of carryover from this pay-per-view into SummerSlam. I think they moved SummerSlam up because there's this big pay-per-view going on in the UK. Can't think of the name of the pay-per-view at the moment, but yeah, that one's going to be special. So anyways, I do think that many of the matches tonight are just going to simply carry over into SummerSlam later on. And this first match, Theory versus Bobby Lashley for United States Championship, I do believe this is one of those. Theory recently won the belt for the first time a few months ago, and he's Vince McMahon's protege, and I just don't think his time is, he's not going to drop the belt just yet. So he's going to find some kind of sneaky, slippery way to defeat Bobby Lashley. But like I said, I have a feeling this feud is not going anywhere anytime soon. So Theory's my pick to retain the United States Championship. The second match on the card is for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and it is between the champions, the Usos, taking on the Street Profits. Just similar to how Roman Reigns is holding both titles. I don't think the Bloodline has all the titles right now, tag team belts and top Universal and WWE championships. I don't think that's going to change just yet. And as well, WWE made sort of a hint that I think the Street Profits, I don't know how much longer they're going to last as a tag team, even though they're very entertaining and well liked. I don't know how long this is going to last for, so I'm going with the Usos to pull out a victory tonight over the Street Profits and to retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Yeah, I'm not sure. The timing of the Usos losing the undisputed belts, both tag team belts, I think may coincide roughly with when Roman Reigns will lose his eventually. So, but anyways, I don't think that will be tonight. So the Usos are my pick to retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Moving on to the third match, it's for the SmackDown Women's Championship with champion Ronda Rousey taking on Natalya. I like this as a feud very much. These two are excellent submission wrestlers. I very much hope this is a feud that's going to continue for a few months at least, because they're both so good, and because of that belief, I think Natalya is going to get one over tonight on Ronda Rousey and win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I do think that both competitors are going to swap titles a few times in the next couple months, but I do like Natalya's chances of winning tonight, and we'll see how long her reign's going to go for. But I think this is a program that's going to last for a while, so Natalya is my selection to win the SmackDown Women's Championship tonight. The fourth match on the card is for the Raw Women's Championship, and that is with champion Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. I just simply think Bianca Belair, her championship reign is safe. I don't think she's losing it anytime soon, and I don't see Carmella winning a top belt again at this moment. So that one's kind of a clear pick for me. I'm going Bianca Belair to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And now on to our Money in the Bank ladder matches. First, with the women's, we have Lacey Evans taking on Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka versus Shotzi versus Becky Lynch. A loaded field, to be sure. I believe I made this pick last year, and I'm just going to roll with it again because I think this woman they've been building her slowly, and her popularity is there. I think it's time to give her a run. I'm going to choose Liv Morgan to win the 2022 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So Liv Morgan is my selection there. And then moving on to the men's 2022 Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Seth frickin' Rollins versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre versus Omos versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle versus a mystery opponent. I know when they did a mystery opponent in years past, well, in one of the recent Money in the Bank pay-per-views, that mystery opponent turned out to be Brock Lesnar, who won it. I'm not going to choose the mystery person this year. Who I am going to choose is the person who I feel is going to actually eventually dethrone Roman Reigns, not at SummerSlam, but at the special pay-per-view that's happening in the UK, Mr. Drew McIntyre. I think that's where all roads are heading, is that Roman Reigns is going to hold on to those two belts until that big pay-per-view in the UK. And that's where I think he'll finally lose them after, 2 years or so. So Drew McIntyre, I think, is going to win this Money in the Bank ladder match. The only other thing, I do still believe that's going to be the outcome, where Roman Reigns will lose his belts in that manner. But I do still think that if whether or not Drew McIntyre wins tonight, I do still think he's going to find a way to get into that title matches for those two belts against Roman Reigns at that UK pay-per-view. So, but I do think because of the timing of it, and I know it's coming up in the next few months, I'd like to say that I think this would make the most sense, that Drew McIntyre wins, and he'll then promptly challenge Roman Reigns at that special in the UK. So Drew McIntyre is my pick to win the men's 2022 Money in the Bank ladder match. So there you have it, just a quick rundown of my picks. I have Theory to retain the United States Championship, the Usos to retain the Undisputed Tag Team belts, Natalya winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair retaining the Raw Women's Championship. I have Liv Morgan winning the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and Drew McIntyre winning the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So there you are. Hopefully tonight's pay-per-view will be exciting, and there will be some twists and turns, and we'll see what happens. So thanks very much for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel below. Thanks very much, and see you next time.